Your domain name is the front door to your business on the internet. If it's misconfigured, slow to resolve, or pointed incorrectly, your customers pay the price. This video demystifies DNS and shows you how Route 53 becomes the intelligent control center for your entire online presence. This program is brought to you by the Series of Thoughts team.
By the end of this video, you will understand how DNS works, what Route 53 does, and how to configure it correctly for your business, including email, failover, and intelligent traffic routing. We will cover DNS demystified, Route 53 as 3 services, essential DNS records, routing policies and failover, and a business takeaway. DNS is like the internet's phone book. Instead of memorizing numerical IP addresses, you type a human-readable domain name, and DNS translates it into the IP address computers use to find your server. Without DNS, you would have to type a number like 54.239.28.85 just to reach a homepage. The DNS lookup process happens in milliseconds. The browser queries a resolver for the domain. Their solver asks the root name servers for direction, which refers it to the authoritative name server, Route 53. Route 53 returns the IP, and the browser loads the page. Route 53 is the authoritative name server, delivering answers in milliseconds from the closest server. Route 53 is one of the only DNS providers globally to guarantee 100% availability through a contractual service level agreement. This means AWS commits to zero DNS downtime. If your DNS goes down, no one can find your website. This 100% uptime SLA is a genuine and rare differentiator. Route 53 bundles 3 distinct services: a domain registrar for buying and managing domains, DNS hosting for storing and serving your DNS records, and health checking to continuously monitor endpoints and automatically reroute traffic if a primary destination fails. All 3 work together for a healthy, fast, and resilient domain. Keeping all 3 services together means configuration changes propagate instantly, with no third-party synchronization wait. You can register a domain, point it at your AWS infrastructure, and enable automatic failover in one workflow. It also simplifies vendor management and billing. A hosted zone in Route 53 is a collection of DNS records for your domain. Getting the MX and TXT records right is critical for your website and email. We will walk through the 4 essential record types every business needs to understand. The A record maps your domain to an IPv4 address, essentially telling the world where the domain lives. Route 53 also offers Alias records, a smarter version of A records that point directly to AWS resources like CloudFront or Elastic Load Balancers. Alias records update automatically if the resource's IP changes and are free to query. A CNAME record, or canonical name, points one domain name to another instead of an IP address. This is useful for www subdomains and third-party tools like Shopify. You cannot use a CNAME on your root domain, so for that, use Route 53 alias records instead. MX records tell the internet where to deliver email. If your MX records are incorrect, emails can vanish. Any business using Google Workspace or Microsoft 365 must configure MX records correctly. Priority values must be set precisely according to your email provider's documentation. TXT records store arbitrary text for verification and authorization. This is critical for email deliverability and security. Key examples include domain verification, SPF to prevent spoofing, DKIM for message integrity, and DMARC to define how mail servers handle messages that fail SPF or DKIM checks. Here is a quick reference for the 4 essential records. Remember that missing or misconfigured MX and TXT records are the #1 cause of email deliverability failures for small businesses. Always double-check these against your email provider's exact documentation. Most DNS providers offer 1 answer per domain, but Route 53 has 5 distinct routing policies. These policies let you control exactly how traffic flows to your infrastructure. Route 53 handles the logic automatically at the DNS layer, without application code changes. Simple routing is the default, mapping 1 domain to 1 destination. It is best for single-server websites, static sites, or any endpoint without a backup. The limitation is the lack of built-in health checking or failover. If your endpoint goes down, visitors see an error. Weighted routing allows you to split traffic between 2 or more endpoints by percentage. For example, version A gets 90% of traffic, and the new version B gets 10% for validation. This enables safe, gradual rollouts at scale, with zero downtime and no risky Big Bang deployment. Latency-based routing improves visitor experience by routing requests to the AWS region that will respond fastest. Route 53 measures network latency to all your regions and directs the visitor to the quickest endpoint. This requires no changes to the visitor's device or your application. Failover routing works with Route 53 health checks. You designate a primary and a secondary endpoint. If the primary fails, traffic automatically reroutes to the secondary. This provides enterprise-grade high availability at the DNS layer without load balancers or complex orchestration. Geolocation routing routes traffic based on the visitor's geographic location. This is useful for delivering region-specific content, applying localized pricing, or meeting local compliance requirements, such as GDPR for European visitors. This is a summary of the 5 routing policies. Simple routing is for basic sites. Weighted routing is for A/B testing. Latency-based routing routes to the fastest AWS region. Failover routing offers automatic high availability and geolocation routes by visitor country. Health checks are the engine behind automatic failover. They continuously monitor your endpoints every 10 or 30 seconds. If an endpoint fails its checks, Route 53 marks it as unhealthy and stops routing traffic there automatically, ensuring resilience. Route 53 health checks can monitor several things. They check HTTPS endpoints for valid responses and specific strings in the body. They check TCP connections for non-HTTP services. They can be calculated checks, aggregating multiple statuses, or tied directly to CloudWatch alarms for custom metrics. Setting up failover requires 3 steps. First, create a health check to monitor your primary endpoint. Second, set your primary record with the failover policy and attach the health check. Third, set your secondary record with the failover policy type secondary. During a failover event, Route 53 starts returning the secondary record's IP address. The speed of failover depends on your TTL. We recommend a TTL of 60 seconds or less so that new visitors are routed to the backup quickly, minimizing the impact of the outage. Many businesses have a hybrid cloud architecture, balancing AWS services with on-premise infrastructure. Route 53 Resolver bridges these 2 worlds, enabling a unified, seamless hybrid DNS solution. Route 53 Resolver uses inbound and outbound endpoints. Inbound endpoints allow on-premise networks to resolve AWS resources by name. Outbound endpoints allow AWS VPC resources to resolve on-premise hostnames. This requires a direct connect or site-to-site VPN connection. The hands-on demonstration will walk through a complete, production-style Route 53 architecture. We will cover domain setup, intelligent traffic routing, health monitoring, and automatic failover, building a robust setup step by step. Step 1 is to register a new domain or transfer an existing one to Route 53. Route 53 automatically creates a hosted zone. If transferring, you only need to update your name servers to point to Route 53 without transferring the registration itself. Step 2 is connecting your domain to CloudFront. Open your hosted zone and create an A record. Toggle Alias on, select Alias to CloudFront distribution, and choose your distribution. Set the routing policy to failover and designate it as the primary record. Step 3 involves setting up the health check and secondary record. Create an HTTPS health check monitoring your CloudFront origin with a 10-second check interval and a threshold of 3 failures. Then, create a secondary A record pointing to your S3 static site, set its policy to failover, and type secondary with a 60-second TTL. Demo Step 4 focuses on creating MX records for business email. You will use the exact values provided by your email service, whether that's Google Workspace or Microsoft 365. Remember, each MX record needs a priority number and a mail server hostname. Any typo can break all incoming email. Next, you add email security records, SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. SPF specifies authorized mail servers. DKIM is a cryptographic key for integrity. DMARC instructs receiving servers on how to handle emails that fail authentication and sends reports to you. The business takeaway is that Route 53 is an intelligent traffic management system. Once your domain is routed through Route 53, you can implement latency, geographic routing, and automatic failover without changing your application code. This is resilience at the DNS layer. Route 53 provides enterprise-grade DNS at minimal cost. It's only 50 cents per hosted zone per month and includes a contractual 100% uptime SLA, something unique among major DNS providers. Query fees are also extremely low at 40 cents per million queries. When comparing Route 53 to third-party DNS providers, Route 53 integrates natively with the AWS ecosystem, offering alias records and health checks that third parties cannot match. It is purpose-built to work alongside your AWS infrastructure. Start with simple routing and one endpoint. As you grow, add a health check and failover to S3 for high availability. When expanding globally, use latency routing. For localized content, upgrade to geolocation routing. Avoid common mistakes. Lower your TTL before making changes to minimize outage time. Always use alias records on the root domain, not CNAME. Ensure you have SPF, DKIM, and DMARC for email. And never forget to attach a health check to your primary failover record. For small and medium businesses, Route 53 offers intelligent, resilient, globally distributed traffic management for just 50 cents a month. It provides automatic failover and the peace of mind of a 100% uptime SLA, ensuring your DNS always works. For a free resource, download the DNS setup guide linked in the description. It's a printable checklist covering every essential record: A/alias, CNAME, MX, and the 3 security TXT records, with clear explanations and common mistakes to avoid. Key takeaways: DNS is critical infrastructure. Route 53 is 3 combined services: registration, hosting, and health checking. Routing policies add traffic intelligence without code. All of this resilience comes at the low cost of 50 cents a month. Coming up next in Module 5, Episode 4, we explore API Gateway. We'll show you how to turn your business data and functionality into secure, scalable APIs to power mobile apps and new revenue streams without managing servers.